participant video or audio will be recorded. If you do not consent to recording, leave now. We will place a link to today's video on the working group Get Discussions page after the meeting. Please note this might take a little bit of time, but we're trying to get it down to where we can get it on YouTube as fast as possible and get that link posted in the forums same day or at the latest next day. Alrighty, so today's agenda. Before we get into the discussion, I need to do the legal brief. So I am communicating today in my official capacity on behalf of the FedRAMP Program Management Office at the General Services Administration to ensure effective engagement and transparency with industry. I will be sharing information based on what I know at the present time. The information I plan to share today is provided to enhance transparency between industry and the FedRAMP PMO. But it is possible that some of this information may change at a later date because no final decisions have been made at this time. However, I think it is important to have this dialogue so we can move forward in a transparent manner, but I wanted you to have that context before I got into the substance of my presentation. My commitment to you is to continue this dialogue and share any new developments as soon as I can. Additionally, any reference in this conversation to any specific commercial product, process, or service, or the use of any trade, firm, or corporation name is for the information and convenience of the public and does not constitute endorsement, recommendation, or favoring by GSA. Some short ground rules. Plenty of people have registered for this meeting, so we have turned off the ability to unmute yourself so we don't have to chase down interruptions. We want all discussions and collaboration to take place in the GitHub discussions board created for this working group. We invite you to post any questions or ideas that you have there. We have already have some dedicated questions thread for this meeting, which you can find pinned to our discussion board. Alrighty, so here's today's agenda. Let's go ahead and skip forward. Our way of working. The intent is to meet bi-weekly for 30 minutes to an hour. 30 minutes or less is kind of the normal meeting, but closer to an hour if we have some kind of presentation or Q&A. These meetings are not intended to be utilized collaboratively work on activities, gain consensus, or make decisions. They're solely touch points to provide updates on progress, both within this group and the greater community. All right. The majority of the engagement and work in this group will be done in our GitHub repo discussion forum. The CWG is a new model for public-private collaboration. One of our guiding principles is for all work to take place in public with maximum transparency. Working in GitHub discussions ensures all community members, present and future, will have access to our work. Myself and Michelle will work to facilitate discussions, answer questions, and work through problems identified within the forum. Agenda recommendations and formulation will happen there as well. Anything brought up in the town hall meetings will also be posted on GitHub. Otherwise, it may be forgotten. Alrighty, Michelle, over to you.
All right, thanks, Emo. I would like to thank everyone for their lively participation in our GitHub's discussion board. As of yesterday, we had 5 new individual top-level discussion threads, 17 top-level comments, and 15 comment replies over the last 2 weeks. We also have an engagement from 11 unique users. I want to give a quick shout out to our top contributors for this 2-week period. Thank you for your engagement. Community contributions are the special sauce that make this program work. If you're new here and want to participate, the link to our discussion board can be found on the screen, in the chat, and also on our website. By participating, you are helping contribute to the future of FedRAMP and providing input that will help to inform FedRAMP standards, particularly for 20X. In the last 2 weeks, we've seen a lot of really interesting themes in the discussions. The valid assessment artifact timeframes discussion focused on assessment artifact timeframes across different commercial security frameworks with detailed insights provided about high trust and ISO certification cycles. The NIST 800-171 thread actively discussed the potential use of NIST 800-171 as a foundation for FedRAMP modern assessments, similar to how CMMC operates, instead of relying solely on NIST 853. The co-located commercial and federal environments discussion reveals that cloud service providers are overwhelmingly maintaining separate environments for federal and commercial services, with many even maintaining independent environments for different federal authorizations, FedRAMP, DISA, PBMM. This separation extends beyond technical controls to include distinct governance. The existing commercial frameworks output in machine readable format discussion. HITRUST specifically was mentioned with having their plans to incorporate OSCAL. The most common current practice appears to be using basic file formats like XLS or CSV files uploaded using a GRC platform. The FedRAMP 20X Phase 1 pilot KSI standard request for comment. In this discussion, we are looking for ways to utilize existing security documentation rather than creating new materials or establishing full reciprocity between frameworks. A key challenge that was identified in this discussion is that using SOC 2 reports or other commercial framework documentation would still likely require some form of mapping to KSIs. I will now pass it back to Eamon to discuss the 20X Phase 1 pilot.
Alrighty, thank you, Michelle. So the FedRAMP 20X Phase 1 pilot is now open to the public. This FedRAMP site has details for how to participate. Qualified CSPs who successfully complete the pilot will receive a 12-month FedRAMP low authorization and be prioritized for Phase 2, which will be FedRAMP moderate. Agency sponsors are not required to participate in the pilot process and receive the authorization. There was an Q&A with Pete last week on the automating assessments CWG. If you look on either the forums or over on YouTube, you can get a link there. Additionally, for this Phase 1 pilot, we will be examining the process of how to accept information from external frameworks, starting with SOC 2 Type 2 audits. For the future, we are looking to expand to other frameworks. But for right now, for this Phase 1 pilot, we're focused on SOC 2 Type 2. Alrighty. So the Phase 1 pilot streamlines cloud service authorization by testing automated technical validation methods, reducing documentation requirements, and creating machine-readable compliance packages. FedRAMP 20X is based on the concept of key security indicators, which are specific security capabilities that cloud services must demonstrate. Key security indicators are designed specifically for the assessment of modern commercial cloud services in alignment with security best practices. Phase 1 aims to understand how key security indicators can be used to determine automated assessment and validation capabilities for cloud-native service providers, assess how SOC 2 Type 2 audit materials can reduce documentation when applied as KSI evidence, investigate how 3PAOs can use automated machine-readable packages for assessments, and define elements of machine-readable validation package. For more information on the Phase 1 pilot, please go to our website. Alrighty, and then we have a new category for working group discussions across multiple FedRAMP 20X Phase 1 pilot working groups. It is the Rocket Ship 20X Phase 1 pilot that is the new category. And these working group discussions on GitHub are your best resource for feedback and questions from both the PMO and the greater community. I'm going to hand off to Michelle to discuss this week's discussion starters. Thank you.
All right, great. Thanks, Emo. So this is our Sprint discussion starters for the FedRAMP.20X pilot scenario. We want to imagine if we are a CSP with an existing SOC 2 Type 2 report, what KSIs can't be validated and why can't they be validated with that report. We also are interested in cybersecurity, specifically the Control for Cybersecurity Education key security indicator. Would the same awareness training be given to both commercial and federal support staff? How is awareness training typically audited for a SOC 2 Type 2 report? If there's any additional items or questions or comments that you'd like to add, please feel free to add them to discussions. Our next meeting will be on May 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. If you've registered for this meeting through the Zoom channel, you should have access to the next meetings already. We will use the same link from now on. If you haven't formally registered, please do so. This will ensure that you get the cancellation and update notices as we move forward. If you do have a demo or prototype that you would like to share at any point, please let us know on GitHub discussions. Again, not an opportunity for you to pitch your product explicitly, but we want to see what the community is working on and what they envision for FedRAMP 20X. And as we're closing, I want to thank you again for your time and attention and your engagement on GitHub. This is definitely something that we are getting a lot of value out of. As a reminder, these slides and recording will be posted there. We are very excited to hear from you in the discussions board. Any questions that you have can be posted to our dedicated Q&A thread. And we look forward to hearing from you in the discussion threads. Thank you so much and have a great day.